Hi, again I got this question. Uh, it's saying we should also prove that if A union B intersection C, then we should prove that this is a subset of A union B. Okay, so we should show that this is a portion of A union B. Okay, so the first thing that we should put in mind is if you are struggling to figure out what is happening, you might first even try to draw the set, represent them by graphs, and the next step will be now trying to figure it out using words. So this, everything that we can see here, this whole problem, we can represent it using words also, but we should try to explain step by step. This is what the lecturer is asking from us. This what the lecturer is expecting us to show, just to prove that we understand what's going on. But we know already that an intersection part of something is containing the elements which appears in both sets. Like in this case, B intersection C is the element which appears in both B and C. So this is very simple and straightforward. We shouldn't have to panic or have problems solving this one, because we are saying, so if B intersection C is what is appearing in C and what is appearing in B, then definitely the answer is already out. Let me just try to draw this one. So B and then intersection C. So the intersection is just the part, or is the part that appears in both set A and set B. We can have a set A or set B such that set B is equals to, or is given by maybe 1, 2, 3. Let's say, for instance, I'm just trying to make these things simple. And then we can have a set C such that in set C we have elements 1, then maybe 3, then 4, and so on. So we know that B intersection C will be given by the letters which are appearing in both B and then which are also appearing in C. So it's appearing in both B and C. So that will be 1, 3, 1, 3. So if we kind of look at this and then now link it to the question that we are given, then we can definitely know what's going on there, or what is the person trying to ask from us, or what is that we're supposed to answer. Okay, so let's just go ahead without wasting time and then try to prove that we know what is going on. So we say, let X be an element of this problem that you are given. So you can say, let X be an element of A, so let X be an element of A, and let again X be an element, let's just write it this way so that you will be able to follow up or follow what I'm trying to to imply, or what I'm trying to do here. So let's say let X be an element of A union B intersection C. Then write it here so that I can also save time. Then X. Then if X is an element of A union B intersection C, then it means X is an element of A, X is an element of B, and X is also an element of C. Okay? Or we can say X is an element of A, or X is an element of B, and X is an element of C. Because we are saying we don't know to which set A, B, or C X belongs to. Okay, so let's go on, and then so we can write it now that X is an element of A, or X is an element of A is now an element of B, and X is an element of C. Okay, now from here we know that anything that appears into intersection, then it means it appears in both, is a common element which is appearing in both B, and then it's also appearing in C. So what do? We can show this by saying, so if then X is an element of B and X is an element of C, then we can say we can safely just write it. I mean, this is all what you guys are looking for, and it's very simple and straight to the point. So we can say X can be then an element of B union A, or X can be an element of A union C. So we can choose between the two. So it's now on us whether to choose A union B. I mean, X is an is an element of A union B, or X is an element of A union C. Because we are saying we can't just say X is an element of B and C alone, because we are not sure, we are not too sure if X is an element of A or X is an element of B and C. But what we are sure of is that if X happen to be an element of B and C, or if X happen to be an element of B intersection C, then it means it appears both in B, and it also appears into C. Then that's, we can just select any of that, and then we'll be on the safe side. We won't lose anything. But if we happen to leave out A, because we are saying when we are uniting things, or when you are using union, we also use items which don't belongs to some other sets. But when we are using intersection, we are looking at items or elements which are common in both sets. Okay, so now we can say x, then x, because we are not sure, so we can say x is an element of A. It's an element of A, and it's an element of A and B row, x is an element of A, because we are saying we can't throw out A because we don't know if x appears into A or x appears into B intersection C. But if x appears into B intersection C, then we know already that it appears both into C and it also appears into B. So it's now x is either an an element of A union B. So it's end here and C. So, and then we can write that x is an element of A union B row x is an element of A union C. So, and then from here now we can just check to see what matches what they've given us. So you can see A union B is what is there, and then we can safely just say then x is an element of A union B. Hence we can just write this one, try to be more creative and sound. Then we can just write right away this one here. Yes, okay, so that's all for now, and then we'll move on to the next topic that I'll try to discuss on some of the problems that you guys have given me, but I won't go that much into detail because it's quite late now. I have to go and sleep. So you guys appreciate and subscribe my channel. Whatever problem you have, I'm telling you, and I promise whatever problem you have, I'll try to by all means to help or to give you guidance or maybe give you some notes, or but if you are struggling with anything, don't hesitate to ask me, and then subscribe my channel so that you guys can be getting daily updates of all my videos on mathematics. Thank you for watching and see you next time.